Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, and today I'm here with cases from Mous for the new iPhone 16 Pro. So we've got the newly redesigned Limitless 6.0 cases. These are going to be 25% thinner than the Limitless 5.0 cases, and they're still going to offer the same level of protection. Nice cases overall, but they do have a concerningly large cutout for the camera control button. And then if you're into really thin cases, you're going to love the super thin cases from Mous. So these do not offer that extreme protection that Mous is famous for, but they're very sleek and lightweight and overall really pretty cute. So in this review, we're going to take a detailed look at both of these case types on my iPhone 16 Pro in white titanium. Let's get started. Looking first at the Limitless 6.0 case for the 16 Pro here in this lovely aramid fiber variant. So the Mous Limitless cases come in a variety of variants. You've got aramid fiber, you've got a lovely walnut and a beautiful bamboo option, as well as a number of fabric options, something called silver, pearl, etc. So there are a lot of different looks and different materials to choose from, but the aramid fiber has always been one of my favorites. So construction-wise, you've got a polycarbonate frame on here for strength, as well as this aramid fiber here inset into the back, and then the sides are made of a combination of TPU polycarbonate and TPE. This is quite a rigid case, not a lot of flex to it, very protective for your phone. So you got a spot here for a wrist strap or lanyard on either side. And then looking in the interior, this case is MagSafe. It's lined in a soft microfiber, very gentle against the back of your phone. And then looking here in the corners, you can see this green stuff. This is Mous's AeroShock material. So AeroShock is their magic material, which is supposed to give you such a lot of drop protection, the extreme drop protection that Mous is famous for. So Mous never tells you how extreme that is. They don't assign a drop rating for their cases. They just say that they are going to give you extreme protection. I did notice that this year you have less AeroShock on these cases than on the 15 Pro version of the Limitless 5.0. So comparing those side by side, so over here we've got our Limitless 6.0 in the 16 Pro versus the Limitless 5.0 in your iPhone 15 Pro. And you can see there's just a lot more green here on the left-hand side. So not really quite sure what's going on there, but just an FYI. One thing which is nice about the new version of the Limitless 6.0 as opposed to the 5.0 is that you have more camera protection. So with the Limitless 5.0, last year, you did not have any bottom side to your camera protection. So it was basically three-sided protection here for your rear camera. And now they have changed that. Interestingly, there's one corner which is a little lower than the others, but you do have protection on that bottom side with the new Limitless 6.0. So I think that's good. Putting this case on your phone is really easy. Just start on your left-hand side. And then go over to your right-hand corners and press those on. Once on, I think we got a good fit overall. So you do have a little bit of give over your button areas and a tiny bit over your port openings, but overall I think we've got a nice tight fit on here. So in terms of lip, you've got a nice amount of lip around the screen. You've got a classic Mous lip on here. So you've got higher lip at the bottom and the top, and then lower lip in the middle. And particularly lower lip over your area here with your camera control button, because of course we have a complete cutout over here. Going to our port openings. You've got asymmetrical port openings for the asymmetrical port design on here, and I don't think you're going to have any issues with most third-party USB-C cables. Going around to the sides, you've got little bump outs here in your corners for extra protection. This is something that we didn't have with last year's Limitless 5.0. So I think that's a nice little addition. You've also got a spot for a lanyard on either side. And going up the side, you got these rippled grip ribs to give you extra grip. Your buttons are floating buttons. They are all nice and clicky, very responsive. All that is great. View from the top here looks great. With this screen protector that I have on here, again, you do have plenty of lip even with the screen protector. And you've got that lip, which is special for the mouse cases. So more lip at the top and the bottom, less lip in the middle, so it's easier to swipe from side to side. And then finally, looking at your side button, also a floating button, nice and responsive. And then you've got this very big cutout here for your camera control area. So if this hits on its side, like along this whole side here, you're going to be fine because you do have protection there on those three sides. However, potentially, if you have a really unlucky hit, if you hit, for example, right in the middle there, then potentially you could hurt your phone. So it's a little bit dangerous, but then again, I think in most cases, you're probably going to be fine. And you are going to have perfect access to your camera control button. And I have to say, given how useful the camera control button is, that's a very nice thing. So if you are really into photography and you're using your camera control button a whole lot, then you really might appreciate this kind of design. And then looking at the back of the case, I'm loving the look and feel of this aramid fiber inset. So this has almost a velvety sort of feel to it. Really nice, very classy feeling. So this type of material does tend to show fingerprints and greasy smears relatively easily, so that's definitely a downside, but it should do well in terms of everyday scratches. And as far as protection for your rear camera, you have protection on all four sides, as opposed to last year's Limitless 5.0, where you didn't have any protection on that fourth side. Now you have protection on all four sides, although this particular corner down here is a little bit lower than the rest. But you're still going to have lay on the table design protection. I think you're going to be in good shape here. So as far as wireless charging and MagSafe charging are concerned, you're going to be in good shape because this is a MagSafe case. So no problems there. Your magnets are good, but not great. It's not one of those super strong magnet cases, but it does fine. And of course, you're also going to be able to use this with other MagSafe accessories like MagSafe wallets. This one from Apple is going to be great. Going to have a nice connection. Of course, Apple doesn't make leather MagSafe wallets anymore. Now they just make fine woven ones. So if you're in the market for a leather MagSafe wallet for your iPhone, you might want to consider this one from Mous. It's got the same 3-card capacity as Apple's wallets, and a really nice look and feel, and it is made of leather. It's also got this really nice feature of having little silicone dots on the back, which give it greater grip on your phone. So, nice combo here with your Mous Card Wallet 2.0. Removing this case from your phone is really easy. Start in your top right-hand corner, press that off, go to the bottom right-hand corner, press that off, and then pull out your phone. So if you're interested in getting a Limitless 6.0 case, you don't just have to go with the aramid fiber version we were looking at. You've got a whole bunch of different variants to choose from. You've got 2 different types of wood. You got this walnut one here, as well as a bamboo that I don't have to share with you today. You've got this beautiful material called silver pearl. You've got a black leather, and you've got 3 different fabric versions. You've got stone, marine, and forest green shown here, as well as one called speckled fabric, which has been around for a few years, which I don't have to share with you today. So there's a whole bunch of different options to choose from with the Limitless 6.0. So looking at the fabric versions of the Limitless 6.0, you've got marine, stone, and forest. So checking this out with marine, you're going to have that same microfiber on the interior. These all have the same features, you just have different looks with the different material variants and different amounts of grip as well. So you got the same nice look here. I'm loving this marine color, it's very pretty. This case has a pleasant feel in the hand, a nice amount of grip here on the sides. Excellent buttons. I like the subtle bump out here of your protective corners. And again, you've got lots of access to your camera control area. So if you use that a whole lot and you're not terribly worried about whacking your case very unfortunately in exactly that spot, then I think you're going to really enjoy the cutout. Of course, it does also open up this area to getting more dirt or dust. You have to be a little bit more careful, but for some people, they're really going to enjoy the ability to access their camera control button a little bit more easily than with many cases. And then looking here at the back, so you can see this fabric gives you a little bit of texture. Seems like it should handle dirt well. Still have that same branding here, Mous branding over here as well as at the bottom. Got a nice look and feel here. And then checking this out with accessories like Mous's wallet. I think things look good. If you want to access your cards from this wallet, by the way, it's just the same as on Apple's wallet. You got that thumb slot here in the back, 3-card capacity. Everything works well. Nice accessory. Checking this out in the stone version. This is attractive. Nice light color. Pleasantly grippy. Really cool look. Then you got your forest green. To me, this one looks kind of military. Perhaps not all that feminine. But some people are really going to like it. And then going for something with a bit more feminine look, you have the silver pearl variant. So this one is really nice. This is an acetate material here on the back, making up this back plate. But of course, underneath that, you've got that same polycarbonate frame, same TPU and TPE. So this one's going to be just as protective as the others, even though it's all silvery and pretty looking. Again, none of these are hard to get on and off. Everything's going to be the same on the sides. Just looking at the back, you have a really nice look here, I think, with the white titanium iPhone. This material is very smooth underneath the fingertips, perhaps more slippery than the others, and it may have some tendency to scratch, but it looks really good. Very attractive case. This comes in 2 different types of wood. I only have one of those to share with you today. This is the walnut, so the sides are obviously going to be all the same. But then looking at the back, you have a very thin inlay of walnut on here. So it's very beautiful, very organic look, very natural. The material is smooth. I think it's going to be a little bit more prone to scratching than the other ones, maybe a little bit more delicate, but it looks beautiful. So if you're into wood, then that might be a good choice. And then finally, we have a version here in black leather. Very nice. You got black sides and then black leather on the back. I love having a leather case which is protective because so many leather cases are not protective at all, so I think that's great. Plus this one is going to be one of the grippier options because the black leather here on the back is textured. So I think this one has a great look. It also matches perfectly with the Mous 3-card wallet that we have here, the Card Wallet 2.0. So really great look there. So I think we got a really nice case here with the Limitless 6.0. I know some people are going to be put off by that extra large camera control cutout. And I do have to say, I mean, it is useful if you are trying to access your camera control area and you want unfettered access to it. But other cases have done that with having a little bit smaller cutout. For example, ESR, their Cloud Soft cases, have a similar sort of cutout, but it's just a lot smaller. So I don't really know why Mous decided to go quite that big, but for whatever reason they did. So I still think it's a really nice case, but just perhaps a bit big on the camera control cutout side. Moving on to Mous's Super Thin case, I've got 3 out of the 4 possible colors here. You've got marine, you've got stone, you've got black, and then there's also a forest green option that I don't have. So these cases are interesting. They really are super thin. They are relatively rigid. They are just made of polycarbonate rather than polycarbonate TPU, TPE that you have with your Limitless 6.0. They are lined with microfiber and they are going to be MagSafe. They are not going to offer extreme protection to your device. These are only going to give you bump and scratch protection. They also don't have that green AeroShock material that is Mouse's special sauce. So if you are looking for something which is going to give you extreme protection, definitely go with your Limitless 6.0 and not with your Super Thin. But the Super Thin is super thin and super light. It's got a lovely feel in the hand and it looks great. So if you're the kind of person that really likes a minimal case, this is something to consider. Putting your phone in here is really easy. So this has the ability to expand just a little bit because you've got these slits in the corners. So it expands when your phone is going in and being taken out, and that keeps it from cracking, like many polycarbonate cases of this kind of super thin design tend to crack. But I think you're going to be in better shape here because you do have those little slits. So this is really pretty easy to get on and off. Once on, you've got a nice tight fit on here. You really don't have any lip at all if you have a tempered glass screen protector on here like I do. This one is Flow Labs Nano Armor one-time screen protector. If I didn't have this on here, I'd have a tiny amount of lip, but with it, the lip is pretty much swallowed up. So looking at our port openings, these are nicely positioned and nicely sized, and you're not going to have an issue with most third-party USB-C cables. And then going over to the side, you can see we got these slits here for expansion when you're putting the case on and off. The material here is smooth. It's not terribly slippery, but it's not grippy either. You don't have any kind of texture to it, but there's a little bit of a coating on here that makes it not that slippery. So for our buttons, we just have cutouts. There are no covered buttons here, and your buttons are reasonably easy to access. And then looking at the view from the top, again, basically zero lip here if you have a tempered glass screen protector, and if you didn't, you'd have a little bit of lip, but not much. Going to the side button, again, uncovered and accessible. And then looking at the camera control button, this one is also uncovered, and I don't think it works quite as well as the one on the Limitless 6.0 cases because you have less access to it, but it still works okay. You can still manage to access it. You just slide around here, it works okay. Looking on the back of the case, the material again is smooth and hard. There's no texture to it. Seems okay against fingerprints and scratching, although I think that this is definitely going to show greasy fingerprints. And it's probably going to have some issue with scratching over time. And as far as wireless charging and MagSafe charging, all that's going to work fine because, of course, this is a MagSafe case. The magnets on here are basically the same as the ones you see on the Limitless 6.0, maybe just a little bit stronger because it's a thinner case. This is also going to work fine with things like the wallet that I was showing you, this Card Wallet 2.0 from Mous. There is a version that is going to have a perfect color match with this marine color, so you don't have to go with black, but I don't have that one to share with you today. But just imagine that this one is a beautiful blue wallet with a lovely blue case, and then you can get the idea. Taking this case off is a little bit harder than with the Limitless 6.0, but just push off your corners. I usually start at the top right-hand corner and then bottom right-hand corner, and then you can pull out your phone. And then checking this out with the black version of your super thin case. Very easy to get on. Nice hand feel. Note that we don't have a spot for a wrist strap or lanyard on either side. So remember, we did have that with a Limitless 6.0. You had little attachment points. And you don't have that with this. But it's still very sleek, very lovely. If you're into super thin cases, which I'm not, super thin cases make me nervous personally, but a lot of people really like them, and particularly people who would otherwise go with a naked iPhone. So this is going to give you a bit more grip as compared to your naked iPhone, and it's going to protect your phone from scratches, and it's going to look good. This is an attractive little case from Mous. Finally checking this one out in stone. Nice look. Attractive case from Mous. Definitely something to consider if you are really into super thin cases. So comparing your super thin case side by side with the Limitless 6.0, you can see size-wise, it's definitely smaller. So it's going to be shorter than your Limitless 6.0. It's not going to be quite as wide, and it's definitely going to be thinner. It also is not going to have as much grip, so the material on here is a lot smoother as opposed to the textured sides that you have with the Limitless 6.0, and particularly with the fabric versions of your Limitless 6.0, like this stone one, you have more grip on the back. And then looking on the interior of these cases, they're both going to have that same microfiber lining, but you can see the AeroShock material, that green stuff that is running around the corners of your Limitless 6.0, and you can see you don't have any green material going around the super thin case. So no AeroShock, no TPU, no TPE, just polycarbonate. And your Limitless 6.0 is going to give you that extreme protection as opposed to no extreme protection with your super thin. So it just depends upon what you are looking for in a phone case. Again, we've been looking at cases from Mous for the iPhone 16 Pro. These cases are all going to be available directly from Mous as well as from other retailers. The Limitless 6.0 cases are going to vary in price a little bit. The cheapest ones are going to be $59.99 and the most expensive are going to be $69.99. They come in a variety of different colors and materials. So we have walnut, stone, speckled fabric, silver pearl, marine, forest green, black leather, bamboo, and aramid fiber. And then the super thin cases are all currently priced the same on Mous's website at $44.99, and they come in 4 different colors: black, forest green, marine, and stone. Finally, if you're interested in Mous's Card Wallet 2.0, this one is going to come in 3 different colors: black, marine, and stone, and it's priced at $39.99 currently at Mous. Many thanks to the kind folks at Mous for sending me out these samples to review. If you have any questions about these products or anything else, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And do consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.